And in the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, وَنَدْعُ الْمَوَازِينَ الْقِسْطَ لِيَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ, that on that day of judgment that we find that the mawazin, whether it be one scale or a number of scales, ulama they discuss, the scales will be placed there in equity and justice. فَلَا تُظْلَمُ نَفْسٌ شَيْئًا وَإِنْ كَانَ مِثْقَالَ حَبَّةٍ مِنْ خَرْدَلٍ أَتَيْنَا بِهَا وَكَفَى بِنَا حَاسِبِينَ. No one will be wronged on that day in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Ibn Kathir and other ulama they speak about that on the day when the scales are laid there. You know, a man will come and the scales are tipped. He's on his way to Jahannam. And they said there's one parchment, one piece of paper. He said, what is one piece of paper going to do for me? What's the benefit of this parchment going to do to me? When I open that parchment, it says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. The testimony of faith is placed on the scale and it tips the scales. He had some conviction inside his heart. That's why we shouldn't be judgmental. That's why I said time and time, it's all dogma, theology, rhetoric, it's all speech. We don't know what exists in a man's heart. No one knows what exists in a man's heart because we become this culture teaches to judge other people. That's not a Muslim's role. That was never the messenger's role. Only on rare occasions he condemned so-and-so individuals to the hellfire. Even the munafiqun, he remained silent. He only disclosed it to one or two individuals. That's the Prophet ﷺ. People who try to torture and kill him, harm him. Look how abrupt we are. Just don't agree with somebody on something. Well, he must be like this. He must be like that. This shows a lack of our reading and understanding of the Quran and the environment that we live in and what we're doing inside our lives. We're at each other's throats. That's what we are. We're at each other's throats. That's all we're good for. To be at each other's throats, to condemn this person to paradise, condemn that person to the hellfire, to make this one a corrupt individual, to make that one such and such individual. That's not what life's about. As we mentioned, every single atom's weight, person will be judged about it, asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that day. So every man, every soul should be worried about themselves that maybe I've oppressed someone, maybe I said the wrong words, maybe I've got mountains of good deeds that I profess to have. But maybe at the same time my tongue is so loose, my behavior is so abrupt, that I oppress people the way that I speak or the way that I conduct myself or things that I do to people. So those people that I've said things about them, they're going to be rushed to paradise and I'll be pushed back. خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ مِنْ عَجَلٍ. Being hasty. That's why we're hasty. We just, even every day if we walk to the masjid, see somebody doing something hasty, have to say something, have to give a rebuttal, have to make my point, have to be known, have to be seen, have to be tell this person, I told that person. That's not hikmah. That's not wisdom. That's not understanding. That you feel abruptly that every time you have to correct someone in your life. That's the right way in life. That's not the right way in life. There's far other patterns and methods of correcting people inside lives. And that's why some Muslims, they're sick of us. We shouldn't shy away from that. They're sick of us because our whole attitude, the way it is towards other Muslims, they'd rather see the back of us. Because we don't give them a comfortable feeling about what Islam is. Or give them that hope, that aspiration, that good feeling, the way of the messengers, how they were. A man came to the Prophet and asked him, let me just pray twice a day. He allowed it for him. And look at his wisdom. He said that he will gradually build up to pray 5 times a day. Even though how the khas lid nabi is specific for the Prophet. We're not saying that we should allow that for someone today, but just to understand the concept of wisdom. How he tolerated certain things with the subjects of the people around him.